beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I guess you call it a podcast. You guys, we're here today to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. And yes, I know I am being consistent, you guys. No, I didn't talk about last week's episode because nothing happened. The only thing that happened is Angela doing what Porsha asked her not to do, kind of indirectly, and inviting Drew to her birthday trip. And Drew, she's not new to this. I don't know why she still agreed to come. I don't know if it was for money reasons. You know, if they don't film, then they don't get paid. So maybe she was like, fuck it, we ball, I'm going. But if you're not invited, you probably shouldn't go. And we knew it was going to turn out all wrong. So boom, that was last week's. Done. This one is called Boots on the Ground, y'all. Can we talk about that for a second? Because I have an Amazon problem. I just buy everything on Amazon and I just need everything as soon as I see it. I got my boots on the ground fan, y'all, for the line dance, and I have nowhere to go. I'm not about to do that line dance nowhere. Why do I have the fan? For the house? I tried so hard not to give in to that dance, y'all, but the song just kept sticking in my brain. Where them fans at? Oh, 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 I got my boots on the ground, boots on the ground. It's a terrible song. It is terrible. However, I couldn't fight it, so I had to get that goddamn fan. And now I gotta find some place to use it at. But back to the episode, because yes, it is called Boots on the Ground, because we know that, they're running around in their little cowboy hats and cowboy boots and everything. They're on the trip, so they pick up from the trip. We're gonna go back to the trip, but Drew was not on the trip, you guys. Why? Because Drew was all up in Dennis's club celebrating her, I guess, her album release or whatever. And Dennis is on the phone sending her all kind of bottles and everything. And she's like, "Oh, thank you, brother." Y'all better save that brother sister shit. Y'all better know when somebody is playing in your face. I don't think Drew and Dennis did anything, but I wouldn't put it past anybody. So I definitely wouldn't put it past Drew because she's a liar. All right, the episode officially starts off with Shamia doing a cowboy song. She's doing a country song about things that have already happened on the trip. It was cute for the most part. Some of it didn't rhyme. It didn't, but it's okay. It was cute for the most part. And you guys, Shamia, okay, so some people don't really care for Shamia because Shamia is silly. And not only did I hear it from, was it Phil or Quran? I can't remember who didn't like Shamia, but just felt like she was very silly, which she is. She's a lot. Shamia's a lot. However, I'm kind of okay with it in small doses. I feel like she's a fun girl and she has a lot going on in her life, so she needs that fun. So I really like Shamia. I'm gonna let her have it. I'm not gonna give her too much grief on being super silly. All right, so it's morning. The girls are getting up. They're getting ready. They're getting their breakfast and everything. We spent a whole lot of time with Angela, probably too much time with Angela, and I'm not. I'm not a fan of her, you guys. I know a lot of people like her. I am not a huge fan, but we'll keep going and see if maybe that turns around. But anyway, so Drew ends up getting there and her hair is not good, not good at all. I'm like, did Portia take away your go naked hair? Along with taking you off as brand ambassador, because she looked a mess. Well, she didn't look a mess, but her hair, she needed to like tack it down, stitch it down. What was that lady said on that what was it, Love and Hip Hop? um yeah, we just have Drew coming, and Angela's telling her, listen, you need to take some of the heat off me now. I'm glad you're here. Drew's like, you added that heat to yourself. And I'm like, bitch, she invited you. What are you talking about? She was being nice and loyal to your ass, trying to make sure you still get a check. And now you talking about I didn't ask you to do it, basically in a roundabout way. So Angela tells her, listen, I just think you need to have a conversation with Portia. And my thing is, Drew knows how this works. Portia has blown up at her like crazy. What, the first couple days or whatever that the series, not the series, the season started, when she went on this whole thing about how she's a low down, dirty, this and that. And I'm like, yeah, you know how this works. Now it's time for you to pull Porsha to the side, have a one-on-one, and see what you guys can make out. That is what you do when you first get there because you are coming on her trip. You are coming on her birthday trip. So the fact that you were not invited and you are there, go ahead and humble yourself and have a conversation with her and explain to her that, you apologize for not coming to her beforehand. Even though Drew says she did, I don't believe Drew. I feel like Drew's a liar. Portia's a liar too, but let's focus. We're gonna keep it where we're talking about Drew right now. So we end up finding out that Shamia's second daughter, her baby girl Shiloh, has an ear infection. Her husband took her to the doctor, and that's what the doctor said is going on with her. So Shamia's talking to him and crying, and he's a great dad, you guys. He's a great guy. Like he's there taking his baby to the doctor, and he's telling her, "Have a good time. Don't stress about this. I got her." And I just thought that was very sweet. Of course, she's still upset and wanting to be there because that's her baby. But she's with dad, and everything's gonna be okay. So when they get on the bus, and I don't know what these girls are wearing, y'all. Especially Kelly. I don't know what she's wearing. Like, why is her boobs out in a cowboy setting? Like, why? Why do you just have on nipple covers and a little cover up? I don't like it. I don't like it. Like, there's a time and a place for everything, and that's just ridiculous. Porsha and her chaps, that was cute. It was fitting, even though she was walking like she didn't know how to walk. But I think they're stiff, so that's the problem. But so they get on the bus, and Shamia is in the back, and she's crying. So of course Porsha goes back there because that's her bestie, right? I mean, right? Yeah, we'll get to that later. Well, I guess later on in the season when they end up falling out. But so we come to find out that Shamia had a lady who was very mean to her when she was breaking up and going through her very first divorce. I think, what did she say, 2005 or something like that? And she said the man was very abusive. He like jacked her up out her chair in front of all these people. And instead of telling him, no, don't, she said she just told him, not here, not right now, in front of all these people. And I'm just like, damn, seriously? But she said they were in front of a really big hotel, and he hit her so hard, he knocked her out of her first pair of red bottoms. And, she ended up crying when she was telling the story, but she said that this person that texted her finally got it. I don't know what happened. Maybe he beat her ass. I don't know. But she ended up texting Shamia like, I'm sorry I was mean to you. I understand what was happening. And who is this lady, and why do we need her validation? And why does she still have your number? I don't know. All these questions, I need to know. I need to know the answers to all this, because absolutely not. You will not have my number after you shitted on me leaving this abusive piece of crap. Absolutely not. But anyway, they're all helping her, and then she's asking Cynthia about Cynthia's, her mom, because they were, was it Kenya had the thing about the abusive lady, so they all spoke at her event, and Cynthia's saying that her mom is, doing okay. But how about when Cynthia was talking to Angela earlier, and she's talking about Drew, and Drew just gotta watch herself, and she's like, because those baby daddies hit different, and I'm like, do they? Do they? And I feel like I said this before, because why does Cynthia keep saying that? Maybe because your baby daddy hit different. She was like, yeah, somebody gonna have to step to me before they step to Leon. And I'm like, okay, the ladies love Leon, I guess. I don't see it, you guys. I don't think he's unattractive, but okay. I don't think he's unattractive. I'll say that. I don't think he's attractive either. There's that. I mean, I think he's very smooth and all that, but again, for her to just make this blanketed statement about baby daddies hitting different, and they don't go be free. Baby daddy co-parent, go do you, and have a good time. But anyway, we find out that Cynthia's mom is doing okay. Next, we have the girls breaking up into a couple of groups, doing a couple of things. We have Britt, Angela, Cynthia, and Drew going to taste whiskey. And I will say that these little glasses that they're using for the whiskey tasting and the shots or whatever, so cute. You guys, I love stemware and stuff like that. They were so cute. I wish I could find them. And then we have, what is her name? Kelly. shit, Kelly, Porsha, and I'm gonna have to cut this out because I can't remember her name. Shamia. All right, Kelly, Porsha, and Shamia. They went to Coyote Ugly, and they get up on the bar, and they're acting like they're, giving blowjobs. Well, they're doing something called a blowjob, and they're just taking shots or whatever. And y'all, what Porsha did with her tongue, all that stuff, all that extra. I want to know how to do that. I want to know how to do that, Portia. I was just like, okay, okay. Yeah, so they're having fun. Both groups seem to be having fun, but of course we have Portia and them having the most fun because you got all the fun girls over there. I'm sorry. Lil Kelly is a whole mess, and I like her, but she's a whole mess, but she's a fun girl too. So, yeah, they're having a good time, and then we got the old ladies, the old raisins at the whiskey tasting. Ooh, this one's going to be short, you guys, because they're not doing a bunch of nothing, and I'm going to skip to the good part, the ending. But we will talk about the fact that they're about to have dinner. Everybody's coming downstairs. Portia was saying it's just something laid back, and she is kind of dressed down. Everybody's all dressed up a little bit. She comes down in all black, just dressed down, and you could tell her mood is just somber. And it's not even like a put on mad or whatever. They're like, "What's wrong with you?" And she's like, "Are we going to eat? What are we going to do?" And they're like, "Uh-oh, something's going on." So they do this line dancing thing. And what I wanted to talk about was Drew calling Kelly a troll. She's like, "Oh, Kelly's out here looking like a whole troll." And at first I thought it was because she's short, but Drew is short as well. So what's she trying to say? Um, flip side, when they showed Kelly, she did look small with a bunch of hair. So I can't be too mad at Drew, but y'all know I don't really like Drew, so I had to find something. But anyway, it's time for them to have their dinner now, and they all sit down. So they sit down and they're talking about how good the trip was, and Portia's just kind of looking around. And Kelly's like, "What's wrong, Portia? What's wrong?" And she's like, "Nothing, just tired." But she's still looking around, and Drew is looking little, like she knows it has something to do with her. And I know she's like, "Oh, the shit's about to hit the fan," because Drew should have went and talked to her, like I said. But she claims she gave her a couple of what do you call it, olive branches, because she bought her a bottle of whiskey, and she said she was going to put their pictures on it, but I'm not sure if she actually took it to her. Again, the problem that Drew did, the biggest thing she did wrong was not going to Portia initially. But anyway, we find out in the confessional that Portia just found out that Drew has been taping behind her back with her baby daddy Dennis. So yes, Portia is pissed. So Britt says that the wine, no, I'm sorry, not wine, the whiskey tasting was good, and they got a lot resolved. They said that Angela said that Brittany told her she does something. I can't remember. Oh, she plays the victim all the time. And she said, "But I can't really say that I play the victim." And Britt is like, "So then you basically didn't take anything away from it." And she's like, "Well, tell me how I play the victim." So she's asking Portia, and Portia's like, "Yeah, I don't remember." Like she's not talking to them too. She's not talking to Drew. She's not talking to Angela. So Angela, keeps talking, and she's like, "Well, yeah, I wasn't the only one that said anything, so I'm wondering why I need to be held accountable." And they were saying, "Well, she didn't invite Drew on this trip. You did." "Well, she didn't say that she wasn't invited." "Well, she said everybody on this call is invited." "Was Drew on the call?" "No, she wasn't." And yeah, it was a bunch of back and forth until Angela says, "Well, hold up. Why am I being the only one being held accountable when Kelly, you were the one that asked the first question of Portia?" So then we go all the way back to the first or second day when Kelly initially met Portia and asked about why she took that lady's husband. Kelly's like, "Listen, that is two separate events and two separate situations. One has nothing to do with the other." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's true, Angela. You just tried to pull that straight out of your ass because you're deflecting like mad. That has nothing to do with it. Where'd you even get that from? Girl, take your lumps. I'm sorry. What you did was shitty. It wasn't your party. It wasn't your trip. You shouldn't have invited anybody." We also have Angela telling Portia that, no, I'm sorry, Cynthia asking Portia, well, do you want to answer Angela's question about, why you took that man's husband or whatever? And Portia says, I want Angela to kiss my ass. She's like, girl, let everybody else kiss your ass. And Portia's like, you first. So Angela's looking around the table and she's in the confessional like, yeah, I don't know why she's upset with me just for asking what everybody else wants to know. And I'm like, we don't anymore. We actually don't. We're over it. It's been years now. We don't give a shit anymore about her, the husband, the wife that she took for. We don't care. We don't care. And my Stephen A. Smith, I'm here to tell you that we don't care. We don't care. Yeah, I'm wrapping this shit up. I'm sorry. So they end up falling out, and of course, Drew apologizes to Portia. Well, not really apologizes. She just says, I'm happy I'm here. She holds up her drink. Portia's of course ignoring her. She tells her, I bought you a bottle of whiskey, and she says, do you mind that I'm here? Portia says, you straight. And she's definitely not looking at her. She's looking all around or whatever. So Drew's like, I'm leaving. I appreciate it. I'm going to leave. Everybody's like, Drew, stay, please. Portia's still just eating her food. And in the confessional, she's like, listen, you hopped your ass on a plane to come to a party that you were not invited to after filming with my baby daddy behind my back, and me saying you straight made you want to hop up and leave. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. And I feel the same way. Like, Drew, bye. So anyway, we end the night, and Portia gets up and she goes to the confessional and says how she would have, really got with them, because she calls Angela this one. She's like, this one here, I don't know what she on. And that shit was hilarious. Angela be paying her dust though, which is crazy. I don't like Angela. I don't like Angela. As of right now, I don't. Sorry, she's from Chicago and I should, but I don't. Let's get to the good part, you guys. So, Portia finally tells Cynthia what happens in terms of finding out that Drew was filming with Dennis behind her back. They go to the room and they change clothes to put on, bathing suits and go swimming. So the girls are down there going swimming. Of course, Angela's not there because the girls, well, I won't say the girls. Portia is not feeling her. So she's up in the room. And then we have all these little clips of Angela in the window, and she's like watching them, and they're swimming, acting a fool and everything, twerking, doing all the stuff that they do. And Angela's in the confessional and we hear her say that, yeah, Portia got real drunk or whatever. She didn't say drunk, but she's like, yeah, all her truths came falling out, and I kept hearing my name and I kept hearing Charles's name. And we have Portia saying, I ain't say Charles. But come to find out, and Kelly ended up saying the same thing. This girl, Portia, said if Angela don't stop, I might fuck her husband. She gonna make me have to fuck her husband. It is not funny because I would fuck Portia up just for saying it because of who you are. Because of who you are and what you have done, I would fuck Portia up, because don't play with my man. Don't play. We're not playing. We're not playing that. So the fact that Angela, she did end up going down there and being like, y'all said something about me. I heard my name. I heard my name. And of course they were like, well, nobody talking about you. But like I said, before they left in the confessional, Kelly did say, well, I know that Portia said, she would fuck her husband. And my thing is, no, she wouldn't, because Charles Oakley, gonna pass, hard ass pass with that hair. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But anyway, that was the episode, you guys. It was good. Portia would get fucked up though, and I like her. I'm not even going. She turned me off when she had her own series and she was acting a fool. However, she redeemed herself with this, especially this YouTube. I'm sorry, you guys. It's my guilty pleasure. I be watching her YouTube and it's cute. Like, she's funny to me. She hood as shit, but she's funny. But that's it. My opinion, that's it. You guys, if you guys did not check out my sports video introducing my honey, my baby, he does a really good job on his first things. his first pod, things take a little turn, but it's pretty funny. You guys might want to check that out. Give me a like, comment, subscribe, you guys. We are trying to get to 1,000. Finally, can we do it? It is nothing for you guys. Like, it costs you absolutely nothing to subscribe. But it's a huge deal for me. If you are still here, you are the real MVP. I appreciate you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Smooches.